It's my distinct privilege to introduce today's commencement speaker, Tom Wallace. Tom is a 40-year veteran of technology startups, both as a founder and an investor. After multiple successful exits, most recently selling Vector Learning for $268 million, he is now the managing partner at Florida Funders, a hybrid of a venture capital fund and an angel investor network focused on finding, funding, and building the next generation of breakout technology companies in Florida and beyond. As an angel investor in the last 25 years, Tom has learned how rewarding invested in early-stage technology companies can be and how challenging. The mission at Florida Funders is to provide better and broader access to tech investments for new and existing angel investors and to turn Florida from the Sunshine State into the startup state. We're honored to have Tom with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Wallace.
Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 2021, congratulations. I'm extremely honored to be your commencement speaker today. By graduating from this outstanding institution, you've earned a college degree that you'll take with you the rest of your life. I, along with my partners at Florida Funders and many of the peers in the, I guess I gotta hold this down. Sorry about that. Along with many of my peers at Florida Funders and many of my technology peers across the state, share a different vision for the state of Florida than most. I want to share some of that vision with you. We envision a Florida that is known not as the Sunshine State, but as you heard, the startup state. We envision a Florida where we are known for technology and innovation, not tourism and oranges. We envision a Florida where we not only do our best and brightest entrepreneurs stay here to start their companies, but some of the best and brightest entrepreneurs from around the globe come here to launch their next startup. We envision a Florida with a technology ecosystem that is world-class, and that ecosystem is anchored and fed by one of the top engineering and computer science institutions in the world, one that rivals MIT, Stanford, Caltech, and that institution is Florida Polytechnic Institute. If you think our vision of Florida of the future is a bit out there and a bit of a stretch, that's okay. But the progress Florida has made in the last decade in terms of technology growth and building a tech ecosystem are truly incredible. We're now the third largest state in terms of tech employment. We have over a dozen unicorns, companies that are worth over $1 billion, including Chewy.com, Fanatics, KnowBe4, JetSmarter, and Luminar Technologies, to name a few. We're home to the burgeoning private space industry, which is just in its infancy. We have more than 40 incubators and accelerators across the state. And in many ways, we benefited from COVID as tech entrepreneurs, founders, and investors flocked here. And you know what? Many of them are choosing to stay. They learned what we already knew, that Florida is a great place to start, build, and invest in technology companies. Peter Thiel moved his founders fund here, as did a slew of other venture capitalists and private equity firms. In addition, SoftBank, the largest venture capital company in the world, opened an office in Miami and has a $100 million fund in Miami. Florida is better positioned than any other state coming out of COVID to lead the next major wave of technology innovation that will result from artificial intelligence, augmented virtual reality, blockchain, Internet of Things, autonomous vehicles, and 5G. As they all come into the mainstream over the next 5 to 10 years. In Florida, our time to shine has come, our future is bright, and you new Poly grads, you're going to take it from here. It's my understanding that as the commencement speaker today, I'm supposed to pass on to you graduates some sage words of advice that you can leave with here as you embark on your life's journey. Well, being that I've made just about every mistake you can possibly make on my journey, I'm pretty qualified to tell you what not to do. But as far as telling you what to do, not really sure about that, but I'll give it a go. I hope in some way you might find this helpful as you leave here and go out into the world. And as Steve Jobs says, put your dent in the universe. So here goes. First of all, I suggest you think and act like an entrepreneur. My favorite definition of entrepreneurism is one who assumes risk. Whether you go to work for Tesla, Microsoft, NASA, an engineering firm, or a tech startup, or start one of your own, try to always think and act like an entrepreneur. What does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. Entrepreneurs are scrappy and nimble. They learn and adapt fast. They work hard, really hard. They know how to persevere, to grind, and to never give up. They make things happen, and they get things done, and they think outside the box. They don't fear risk. In fact, they thrive on it. They don't play it safe. Safe sucks. It will get you nowhere. I suggest you try to be insanely curious. Leonardo da Vinci, the true Renaissance man, was an extraordinary painter, draftsman, scientist, sculptor, inventor, botanist, and architect. Leonardo said that it was his insatiable curiosity for so many things that enabled him to become a master in so many different fields of knowledge. Be curious, ask questions, lots of questions about anything and everything, and listen, and take notes. Da Vinci took notes about everything. I suggest also you become obsessed with learning. If you're going to get insanely good at just one thing after you leave here, learning wouldn't be a bad choice. Think about this. The knowledge and information that you all have at your fingertips every second of every day online on any subject is absolutely unprecedented in the history of mankind. Elon Musk says that anyone can become an expert in any field by going online and taking advantage of all the content that is readily available on any subject from the world's leading experts. If you're not learning, you're not growing. If you're not learning and growing, your chances of getting far in life are not that great. I suggest you seek crazy. Crazy is good. Crazy people with crazy ideas are the ones that create real change. Look at how many industries have been completely disrupted in just the last decade or so by someone with a crazy idea, like Uber did to transportation and Airbnb to the hotel industry. There are many more industries ripe for disruption, and I would put our healthcare system and K-12 education system at the top of that list. Maybe one of you will come up with a crazy idea and be crazy enough to pursue it that will totally change the way we deliver healthcare or teach our children. I hope so. Conventional thinking, status quo, and doing things the way they've always been done, that's insanity. Be crazy enough to find, discover, and invent a new and better way. It's always you, young people, that come up with the crazy ideas that really change the world. Don't let us down. We're counting on you. There's an old coding term. I actually used to be a programmer very early in my life, and I wasn't very good at it, so I got out of it pretty quickly, but there's an old coding term called GIGO, G-I-G-O. It stands for, and it always stuck with me, garbage in, garbage out. My suggestion is you think about your mind and body this way. Put good and positive stuff in on a consistent basis, things like the books you read, blogs, podcasts, movies, and videos. And if they're positive and you're putting that positive stuff in, you'll get good stuff out. And you'll get good results in your life. Unfortunately, if you do the opposite and put garbage in, then you know what will happen. Same for your body. Put nothing but fast and junk food into your body, and, well, you get the idea. I suggest you always try to have fun. I've always liked the saying, don't take life too seriously. After all, none of us is getting out of this thing alive. So enjoy your journey. Have the time of your life. Laugh often, and for God's sakes, be able to laugh at yourself. Be creative. Believe that you're a creative person because you are. We all are. Our Creator made us that way. Unfortunately, for many, their creativity gets stifled. You know, that K-12 problem I was alluding to. Feed and challenge your creative mind. What you can create has absolutely no limits. And right now, you have a blank canvas canvas in front of you. It's called Your Career, Your Life. Go ahead, create a masterpiece. Be a giver. You will get what you give in life. It's that simple. I suggest that you be generous with your time, your energy, and your treasure, and you'll always have plenty and never want for anything. Make a habit of sharing. Sharing is giving's close cousin. Everything in life is sweeter when you share it. The view from the top of the mountain is not nearly as spectacular if you're up there alone. Be grateful. Try to be grateful and appreciate everything, especially the little things, and try not to take things for granted. You are so blessed, and if you don't think so, you just need to go spend some time in a third world country or at a children's hospital. My hope is that you wake up every day and are eternally grateful for all you've been blessed with. Everyone wants happiness. The happiest people I know are the most grateful people I know. As my Pilates instructor, who is a recent transplant from New York City, likes to say, own your shit. It's her way of saying take complete responsibility for your life, your success, and your failures. When things go poorly and you're looking for someone to blame, I suggest you start by finding a mirror. Whether you are successful in life is solely and completely up to you. Your decisions, your choices, your actions all will determine your outcomes. As William Ernest Henley put it, you are the master of your fate. You are the captain of your soul. I suggest to you that complaining and criticizing are a complete waste of time and energy. Shit is going to happen to you on your journey through life. Some good shit and some bad shit. Such is life. Trust me on this one, you're going to learn a great deal more from what at the time is going to seem like bad shit, the failures, the disappointments, and the setbacks, than you ever will from your successes. The stuff that seems so bad at the time, more often than not, you will realize actually made you better and stronger in some way. I suggest you don't be too concerned about what others think of you. Focus instead on listening to your inner voice, trusting your heart. They will lead you down the right path. I suggest you don't worry about impressing people. Worry more about impressing on people how much you care and how hard you're willing to work. Speaking of work, I believe the most important work you will ever do in your lifetime is the work you do on yourself. You have unique and special talents that no one else on this planet has or ever will have. Use them wisely. The most important job you will ever have is creating the highest version of you, of yourself. I suggest if you make this your mission, whatever career you decide to pursue, whatever field, I believe you will find great success. I want to share something with you that I heard many years ago. A survey was done of people over the age of 80. These were people closing in on the end of their lives. The participants in the survey were asked one simple question. If you had to live your life over, would you do anything differently? They surveyed over 1,000 people, and 2 answers came up way more than the others. The first answer isn't all that surprising. They said if they had it all over again, they would slow down. They would take more time out of life to enjoy it, to smell the roses. That life goes by quickly. It's short. It seemed like only yesterday they were 20-something, sitting where you are, and now they're in their 80s. The second answer that came up a lot, I found quite surprising. In my experience, people in their 80s tend to be a pretty conservative crowd. When asked if they had it to do over again, they said, and I quote, they would take more risks. They would take more risks. I thought about this for some time, and I could only come to one sad conclusion, and that many people, when they get to the end of their life, have regrets. Regrets about things they apparently wish they had done, but never did. They played it safe. They didn't take the risk. Maybe it was learn to fly, maybe it was build a company, maybe it was write a book, climb Mount Everest. I don't know. But I thought, I don't want that ever to be me someday. I want to close by leaving you with one hope and one wish. My hope for each of you is that you leave here and go out in the world and create an incredible life for yourself. That you make your dent on the universe and that you create the very highest version of yourself. My wish for you is that when you are in your 80s and you reflect back on your life, the life that you took risks and you did everything you wanted to do, that you have absolutely no regrets. Graduates, you are our future. You are the future of this great state. Go forth, create a Florida we can all be proud of. Thank you.